like Caitlin was, the delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA.
Once doubted by legends like Gino Arima and Cheryl Reeve, Caitlin Clark has silenced critics with record-breaking performances. The surge in attendance, viewership, and merchandise sales speaks for itself. She's the real deal.
Players who've been overseas, and they look at that and say, oh, you trying to come take my job. Like, nah, it's not gonna be that easy. So will Caitlin Clark be a good pro? Absolutely. Will Caitlin Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now? Immediately? Absolutely not. Not gonna happen.
Okay, not on the right team.
But just when the doubters thought they had the final say, Sydney Colson stepped in, and she had plenty to add.
Swoop said this on a podcast talking about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and how it's gonna be difficult to come into the W and adjust to the pace no matter how good you are in college.
Facts.
Because some of those girls you play against in college, people aren't playing defense hard.
Here to the Fever. When you look at this roster, what do you see?
Oh, I see young players that are super hungry to win and very competitive. I think that second half of the season last year, a lot of people didn't want to see the Fever in the playoffs because you saw how they changed things after the All-Star break. They were gelling much better together. They kind of had a better understanding of things. Like, it was a lot them adjusting to Caitlin adjusting to the rest of the team. But when they got going in the second half, and now with the addition of, you know, some veterans who have won, and DeWanna Bonner and Natasha Howard, you know, just bringing different people in, you have some veteran leadership and you have some winning experience, and that's a perfect storm, really.
Now with Indiana, Colson isn't just backing up Clark on the court. She's backing her up in the debate, shutting down skeptics in brutal fashion.
To the next level, so this is like low-key extracurricular activity in high school for them.
Correct.
When you get to the league, these are grown women who, this is their job, this is how they eat. They've been doing it a long time. Yeah. Candace Parker has been the only person we've seen.
Let's dive in.
Targeted by her looks, targeted by her reputation, targeted by the disrespect that they've shown to the WNBA. There's a huge target on this kid's back. I thought Cameron Brink said something really smart. She said, no, they're expecting this rookie class to be perfect. This rookie class isn't even one of the best rookie classes in the last 10 years. But they've been put out to be that because of the way social media is today. So what kind of impact is this rookie class having in the WNBA? I think one of the things that makes Caitlin Clark, you know, who she is the way she is with people. You know, she connects with people and people connect with her. Now, she talks a lot of shit.
By almost any measure, Caitlin Clark had one of the greatest college basketball careers in history, possibly one of the most legendary in all of sports. But despite her dominance at Iowa, some questioned whether her success would carry over to the WNBA. Even Nike had doubts, unsure if she could reach the same heights at the pro level. Some sharp minds misjudged her, including legendary UConn coach Gino Arima. Back in June, he criticized Clark's passionate fan base, calling them delusional for believing she would step into the WNBA and dominate immediately.
College player, like Caitlin was, the delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. There were actually odds on she's third or fourth in betting odds on being MVP of the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's basketball a bad name. Okay, so the kid was set up for failure right from the beginning. So if you're a WNBA player, and believe me, I've coached the best, and I've pissed them off a lot, and they let me know about it.
Delusional. Clark has had the best rookie season in WNBA history, turning everything she touches into ratings and attendance gold.
Been bullied and punked off again. What's going on here? Like, what I seen, there was a footage with her where Skylar Diggins-Smith did she was looking like she was in the speed walking competition. Like she was walking so fast to get to Caitlin Clark to push her, because Caitlin Clark was cooking them. They're up by like 17, 18 points, and she was just talking.
For all the jealousy and hostility she's faced from other WNBA players, Clark is actually doing them all a favor. No amount of marketing dollars could have generated the impact she's had. Just putting C superscript 2 on the court has been enough to elevate the entire league. Her list of skeptics, if not outright detractors, includes some of the biggest names in coaching: Dawn Staley, Gino Arima, and U.S. Olympic coach Cheryl Reeves.
Quite a bit of bitterness coming from Team USA's coach Cheryl Reeves when she was asked pretty much any questions about Caitlin Clark. And she was asked if there was any second guessing from her on Caitlin Clark not making the team, and she very just spitefully says no. Doesn't elaborate on it, just says no.
For me,
Yeah.
And it's funny to me how even she coached this game, because if you didn't think Caitlin Clark was the caliber of player that
They simply didn't see her. To them, Clark was just a passing phenomenon, an illusion that would vanish the moment she stepped into the more competitive world of the WNBA.
You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty, girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world.
Oh, you are.
Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. Don't be petty like dudes. Listen, what she's accomplished, give her her flowers.
Back then, former Indiana Fever head coach Christy Sides told Bleacher Report that Caitlin Clark's competitiveness was on the same level as Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Stephen Curry.
Bro, she still what? Athleticism. Hand check, and if you let her wiggle, she can wiggle. Though is good. I think 10 in the game. Tripping, bro. You see where she shoot the ball from, bro? Where was she? Matter of fact, was she playing with a women's ball? Women's ball? Nah, she playing with the NBA ball. She can get 10. She can still get money on them.
Clark doesn't need extra motivation to be the best, but doubters and naysayers only add fuel to her already sky-high ambition. While skeptics fed the fire, there were also those who believed in her from the start. One of them was Rebecca Lobo, who made a bold prediction early last year, one that's now proving to be remarkably accurate.
Such a perfect fit.
On the court, the Fever made some improvements last season, but still finished 10th in the 12-team league. Can they be great immediately? Maybe not, but Clark is going to move them into a different conversation.
I'm really excited to see Caitlin surrounded by the players that are already on the Indiana team, because her vision is next level, and I'm eager to see players around her who can consistently see what she sees and finish what she delivers.
Rebecca Lobo made a bold prediction about the Fever star in a much-discussed post on X, formerly Twitter. Back in February, she stated that if the Fever selected Clark, she would put up MVP-caliber numbers in her rookie season. Lobo didn't stop there. She also predicted that Clark would not only post unbelievable stats, but also elevate her teammates. Her take was met with brutal backlash on social media. Critics mocked her, with some even claiming that Clark wouldn't be the best player on her own team.
Seconds left. Goes around to Gumake. Drives baseline. And she rejected by Izzy.
Win last night in Los Angeles. That's got to be pretty tough, I would think, on Caitlin to just really...
Caitlin Clark may have had a slow start to the season, but even her biggest critics can now see why the hype was justified. She has adapted to the WNBA at a remarkable pace, proving she belongs among the league's best. A report posted on X yesterday highlighted just how dominant Clark has been. She currently leads all WNBA guards in 4 key categories: points created, assists, blocks, and rebounds. On top of that, she ranks among the top guards in points per game and steals, further solidifying her impact on both ends of the court.
Incredible. I think, Chelsea Gray over the course of the last few years has been the best point guard in the world and the best passer in the WNBA. I think right now Caitlin is right there, if not passing her in terms of the passing. I think she is the best passer in the league right now. Her turnovers are always going to be a little bit high because of the chances she takes, especially with get-ahead passes. She's, looking to thread the needle, and oftentimes it makes it there and sometimes it doesn't.
Responding to the post, Rashid MCC pointed out that it didn't specify rookie, but simply guard. A testament to just how great Caitlin Clark has been in her first season.
The biggest thing for me is her not even responding to all the bullshit that's going on. That's a true professional. As a rookie, she's being mentioned in all of these different names and these conversations, and she ain't said a fucking thing but bigged up the whole league and everybody.
In 28 games last season, Clark averaged 17.8 points, 5.8 rebounds, 8.3 assists, and 1.4 steals per game.
You can get the best chili dog known to man per chance. And then Clark's going to get the steal in the post. Going to find Erica Wheeler, and then Wheeler is out in transition. Oh, the inside out.
Caitlin Clark has shattered what feels like an endless list of records in her rookie season, proving her skeptics completely wrong. When she entered the WNBA, plenty of voices predicted she'd face a harsh reality check, that she wouldn't look so special against the league's best. Yes, there was an adjustment period. But as the regular season wraps up and the playoffs begin, it's clear. The doubters weren't just wrong, they were categorically wrong. Clark is shining, and those who questioned her are now looking downright foolish.
I mean, Caitlin Clark had a remarkable season. She should be a first-team All-WNBA performer. I have her 4th on my MVP ballot, which is incredible considering how the season started for Indiana. A 1-8 start. Her first game against the Connecticut Sun, she had 10 turnovers. And now she ends up leading the league in assists per game at 8.5, averaging 19 points a game as well. She had an absolutely remarkable rookie campaign.
Cook it! Let her cook!
One of the best pieces of advice that somebody gave me is like, at the level you feel like all the praise, like that's the same level you'll feel all the hate. So I try to stay right in the middle. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't really bother me. I think it's just what comes with it. And like growing up, my mom always said like, people want to see you fail. Like, you know, that's just kind of how our world is, which is really sad. But at the same time, like I don't like think about that type of stuff. Like
With Clark, the extraordinary has become routine. For their final game of the season against the Fever, the unremarkable Washington Mystics moved the event to an NBA arena and drew 20,711 fans, the most ever for a WNBA game. The Fever averaged 17,700 fans per home game and 15,000 on the road, both leading the league by a wide margin. And when Indiana plays away, a huge portion of the crowd isn't cheering for the home team. They're there for Clark, but there's more.
Game of the season. And in enemy territory gets this kind of salute as she exits the game.
Is this enemy territory? Because I've seen a lot of Caitlin Clark jerseys in downtown Chicago.